Shraddha always keeps saying, Ma, Jessie, you're saying I played a mother in Phata Poster Nikla Hero. Actually, I played a mother when I was 17, 18 years old as well. I remember we had to kind of go behind a tree and hold a cloth and then change behind.
Hello everyone and welcome to Pinkvilla's special Mother's Day edition called Dear Mom. Today we are speaking to an actress who's ruled the hearts of her fans and admirers for nearly 5 decades. She started out as a child artist and has given major hits in films like Prem Rog, Wo Saat Din, Sautan and many more. Yes, we are talking about Padmini Kolhapure ji. Ma'am, welcome to Pinkvilla.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your show.
Before we start speaking about the real and the real mom, I want to start by asking, you recently became a mother-in-law when
Yes.
Priyank got married. How has this transition been for you?
It doesn't feel any different because Priyank and Shaza were together for many, many years and she was in and out of our home. So, of course, by coming into this house, she's made it even a more special home for all of us because we missed, having a daughter. We didn't have a daughter. So for us, she has actually filled that void for us.
I've always heard Shraddha saying that you have been like a mother figure to her, and now there is Tejaswini ji's daughter as well, who I was speaking to her recently, and she told me how much you and your sister pampers her with gifts all the time. Have you been a protective Masi to both of them?
Highly
Masi
protected.
is Ma Jessie.
Yeah, Ma Jessie, I know. Shraddha always keeps saying, Ma Jessie, she keeps saying that. But yeah, I mean, it's a fact actually, Masi is Ma Jessie. And then thing is, whether it's a Masi or a Bua or, if you live together and you kind of constantly with each other. See, there's so many Masis who live away from their nieces. So there is a slight gap. You don't really necessarily, are that close if you live away and if you're not constantly in touch. But for us, it's like Shraddha lives right here, very close to my house, right behind my house. And Vedika, that's Tejaswini's daughter. Tejaswini lives about 2-3 minutes drive from my home. So that way we are constantly in and out of each other's hair, I would say.
You played Shahid Kapoor's mother in Phata Poster Nikla Hero. But then there was this beautiful Marathi film called Pravas, which I saw a while back. Where
you did? You did?
I did. I loved the film. It's such a nice film.
Thank you.
And, in that film, of course, but you are not really a mother in that film. There are many roles that you have, especially of a very devoted wife. And through the filming, we also see that you start getting back to your hobby. You start loving yourself. How do you think a woman's character, especially a mother's character, is being shown on screen now? From when you started out in 72, I think you started out as a child artist, and now in 2021, what is the difference do you see between mother of then and mother of today on screen?
You're saying I played a mother in Phata Poster Nikla Hero. Actually, I played a mother when I was 17, 18 years old as well. I did films like Pyar Ke Qabil, where I played a mother. In Pyar Jhukta Nahi, I played a mother. Of course, the kids were younger, but I did play a mother. And, then I didn't know what motherhood was. I didn't know what it felt like being a mother. Not that it made me sort of perform any differently when I was doing Phata Poster. But you see, the portrayal of a mother has definitely evolved. Like we spoke earlier, women are thinking differently. Women are much more liberal, much more open-minded, much more broad-minded. So you have all kinds of mothers being played in on the OTT or in movies. Or on television.
What I really meant to ask is that how, for example, earlier a mother's character only used to be limited to a mother. She was just a mother who was dependent on the son. But today there is more to her. For example, if we speak about Neena Gupta's character in Badhai Ho, she was not only a mother to Ayushmann Khurrana, but it was really a story about her and her husband who conceived in the middle age. This and possibly these characters have given more meat for actresses of a certain vintage to grab on and perform rather than what used to be a very vanilla character in earlier times. Do you agree to that, ma'am?
Definitely. I mean, now they're showing sort of portraying more like mother's journey, mother's life, which they are emphasizing on, which is bringing about such beautiful nuances to that character.
Yeah.
It's no more that typical, olden days how a mother was portrayed.
Yeah.
Or even a mother-in-law for that matter. So
Absolutely.
it's they kind of they're sort of bringing much more life to the characters, and much more how do you say, realism, and so you're able to sort of actually justify more what a mother is all about. I mean, today's woman is like, she's multifaceted. She's truly a woman of substance.
Also, there's this challenge of being a working woman, and I want to ask you, Priyank, if I'm not mistaken, was born in 1990, and
89.
89, and you were working back then. How did you manage to be like a working woman who's and back then used to be so many shifts also?
When Priyank was born, I'll tell you what, when Priyank was born, no, I had finished all my assignments by then. When Priyank was born, I was totally with him for, I think, the first 13 or 14 years of his life. I was totally dedicated and devoted to him. Maybe few spurts, 1-2 days, of patchwork left here and there. But otherwise, Priyank, I was with him in his years till, I would say, 13, 14. And then when he kind of, when he got to know that, okay, my mom's an actor, and, you know how children are when they say, mom's an actor, and this is the film she's done. And he said that, Mom, actually, why don't you start acting again?
He said
and I said, he said that.
Wow.
And he said, you were there with me when I needed you the most. So now you can just go ahead and start working. I'm grown up now.
But there are so many working women out there, right, who are balancing both their lives, and kudos to them for doing it.
Absolutely. I really salute them. It's really, it's not easy, because they work, they come home, they cook, they look after their children, they clean. I mean, what not? They take up their. I mean, Tejaswini is also a working woman, and but today's man is also very helpful, very supportive. So I think we have to even give it to the men, like they've kind of come to terms with this, that they have to also, help their women, their wives.
Are you choosy about your parts?
I am, yes, I am very much. I mean, I'm not really clamoring, or I'm not sort of really jumping at everything that's coming my way. I want to take it at I've always done that. Since I restarted. When I was working, I had no choice. I was doing 2 and 3 shifts daily.
Yes.
So I think for me then was too hard to sort of decide what I wanted to do. The only thing I probably put my foot down then was I didn't want to work on Sundays. That was the only thing. Others, we were shooting every single day. It was like maddening. I mean, we functioned then as well brilliantly without our vanity vans, or without the monitors, or without so many other things, the luxuries that are there today.
Yeah. But what was that like, ma'am? Do you remember any funny incident of these, of missing these luxuries on a set that you were in your earlier days?
So many. I remember, like, we had to kind of go behind a tree and hold a cloth, and then change behind, and things like that. Or if it was raining, we would just had to run under. Like I said, we didn't have these luxuries that are there. But we had to sit out in the sun. If you were shooting on the beach, we had to sit there in that sun. Okay, we had umbrellas then, but still it was not the same as it is today. Wherever you go, you have your fans, you have your coolers.
I agree with you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this lovely
conversation. Thank you for having me on Pink Villa. Thank you. Lovely talking to you, Avinash. Thank you.
Same here, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Bye.